A major clean-up operation is underway in Newry this evening as businesses count the costs of extensive flooding in the city after the canal burst its banks.
Newry may have the oldest canal on the island of Ireland, but it's dealt this city a very present problem.
As you can see, there's not a whole lot you could have done. It came in that quick.
This must be absolutely devastating seeing this.
What can you do?
Well, a snapshot there of the damage caused across other towns in Northern Ireland. Bringing the focus back to Newry, I'm now joined by the newly appointed CEO of Newry Chamber, Michael Savage. Michael, thank you for joining us. This is your first day in office. I hesitate to use the term that you've been thrown in at the deep end, but how big a job is on your hands now?
Well, it is a big job.
These are customers' dresses, okay?
Dresses saved from the deluge. What should be worn down an aisle, now paraded through Downpatrick on one of its darkest days.
But it's so sad, it's not just me that's been affected. Like, everybody along here is a small business. You know, they're local. Like, so many of them is lost.
Ciara's shop, one of at least 25, flooded from early morning. Carrying the weight of a broken town on their shoulders, a panic to protect others setting in. The weight of floodwater still felt across a town. Downpatrick still dealing with the downfall. On the streets that have turned to rivers, people have been trying to do what they can. Across town, things move at a slower pace. Bertha Mulvaney can do nothing but watch on. A resident of Downpatrick for all of her life, this is flooding on a scale she has never seen before. In her residential home, peering out, unable to walk around the town she loves.
Never as bad as this. You're closed in, you can't get out for a breath of air. What can we do? Can't do anything about it. Look at business people, they're ruined.
Traders are asking, could more have been done around our local waterways? And perhaps more importantly, could something have been done much sooner? The green standing out against the blue, the rush of the River Coyle under a bridge near Downpatrick. Tranquil beauty, but a severe flooding hazard. In these videos sent exclusively to UTV, fast-flowing water can be seen fighting to find a way past the build-up. This was a day before the floods. The UK government says that today cash is now available in the absence of a sitting executive at Stormont. But when President Biden leaves Carlingford, he will then travel on to Dundalk and later Dublin. In Dublin, he's expected to meet with his Irish counterpart, President Michael D. Higgins, at Aras and Uachtaráin. This presidential visit will culminate in a trip to another special ancestral home to Joe Biden, Mayo. It's a place which holds a deep connection to a president who holds a deep connection to this island. Hope for a quick resolution. A protracted conflict with no clear end in sight. Civilians caught in the eye of a militarised storm, crying out for the dust to settle.
Hello, Stewart, how are you?
Thanks very much for having us on board today.
You're very welcome. Welcome to the Newry Ship Canal.
For 25 years, Johnny Cully has brought this boat between these banks. No obstructions, sailing freely. Well, we're now approaching the point where the proposed bridge will be built, stretching from 50 metres on one side to the other. If indeed the bridge is built, it means that boats like Johnny's will have to stop here and no longer be able to gain access into Newry. 12 teenagers, 2 boats, all eyes on making history. Each stroke a stretch closer to conquering the world record. UTV filmed exclusively with the group in Donaghadee as they were put through their paces in the lead up to the swim. Pearl Brown's home is filled with love and dozens of dead flies.
They've been replaced this morning. I have that big thing that was emptied a few days ago.
In Newcastle, waves may be rushing in, but the usual flow of visitors is not. Usually during the summer months, this beach is a hive of activity with people paddling in the water and sandcastles being built on the beach. But as you can see here right behind me, there's not one other person here. The recent spell of grey, wet and murky weather keeping people away, and that's having a real effect on businesses in the town. Ropes untied, crew on board and all eyes fixed on the water. Every day for the last 2 months, on every voyage this boat has made, 2 very special tourists have come along for the ride.
Well, we've been on the water now for around 15 minutes or so. Still no sign of the dolphins, but we're certainly not giving up hope just yet. Jared Fagan has been opening the door to seasonal workers for years, but as his mushrooms keep growing, staff numbers are falling.
Supplied with moisture, but then on the left here, these are the trees that were planted just 6-7 weeks ago.
It's not just the leaves that are being affected. We can see here
the
that
the grass is so down.
I can see this
the ground's
crumbling here
Now,
in your fingers.
The weeds will come.
Came here because they said this was a little undiscovered gem that they hadn't explored before, so they were delighted to be able to come and see it.
Excitement is building in the County Louth town, and our South East reporter Stewart Robson is live there for us this evening. Stewart.
Yes, Rose, either side of me are the sweeping Mournes and the Cooley Mountains, but Joe Biden's heart lies firmly at the centre of this peninsula and its people. It's here in Carlingford where we expect him to visit tomorrow, including a trip to Carlingford Castle, which you can see just behind me. It's actually been sealed off, awaiting its very special guest. Playing through the rain in a town preparing to welcome a president. Carlingford may be soaked in grey, but the red, white and blue of the USA is littered among its streets. Locals and those with links to Louth are ready to welcome Joe Biden back to his ancestral home. For now, from all of us still in the newsroom, enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye for now.